Coming off another winning day and a crazy finish in the Dinger Tuesday contest. Let's talk some baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I'm your host, Steven, and we are here in the middle of the week to talk some more baseball. And we had another winning night. How about that? 2 in a row. Even though it was a small profit, we still take any profit in baseball. 3-2, but we'll talk about that in just a little bit. We got to get to this Dinger Tuesday winner. Like you heard earlier, we had quite the finish in it. You guys hit some, that's for sure. But we had two guys hit a home run. Taylor Ward and Ezekiel Tovar both hit a bomb at plus 650. We had a dead heat, so we had to go to the longest home run. Tovar hit a bomb 390 feet, and Taylor Ward hits a bomb 391 feet. You can't make that up. That was as close as it gets. So congratulations to @Keno's Fault for the win. Reach out to me on YouTube, Discord, Twitter, whatever it is, to collect your winnings. But congrats to you, and sorry for whoever lost the Tovar. That was a tough way to lose. But still, thank you guys for participating. That was a lot of fun. So, quick reminder, we have NBA Game 3 of the finals. That video is already out. We got some key stats, and I give you 3 best bets for that game. So go check that out right now. But we got a full 15-game slate, so let's get into it and talk some more freaking baseball. Here we go. Baseball fun fact. It's a little bit longer. I'm going to try to work through it. Here we go. Lefty Grove was a pitcher in the early 1900s. At age 20, he played for a team in West Virginia that did not have a fence. In that season, he struck out 60 hitters in 59 innings. He caught the attention of the Orioles minor league team, and because of that, he was then traded to another team for around 3,000 to 3,500, which was just enough for that old team to buy a fence. That's right, he was literally traded for a fence. And by the way, if you don't know, Lefty Grove went on to have a good career in the majors as well with the A's and the Red Sox. He won 2 World Series titles, but at age 20, he was traded for a fence. Just saying. Anyways, in this video, we're going to recap yesterday, a 3-2 day, and then we're going to give you the good hitter matchups. I'm not going to have who's on fire. It's a wild, crazy day. We had 2 videos, but I will give you that tomorrow. And then good pitcher strikeout matchups. We got 4 of those for you today. And then the full pitcher report. And then we wrap it all up with the best bets and the bets recap. So hit that like button. Leave a comment below. You guys know the drill. Let's get a ton of likes in this video. You guys can do it. Just tap that like button. That's all we need. We appreciate it. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button as we are on our way to 26,000 subscribers. All right, let's get it rolling. And it starts with the recap. All right, there it is, the 3-2 day, and I've been putting half units on all these plays, and so it's a small profit, but you know what? It's better than losing. Angels team total over 3.5. We were sweating that out before we recorded, and they get the job done in the 8th inning. They had their chances. Like 2 guys on in the first didn't get it, but anyways, they still scored 4. Nats money line. I can't believe how much of that game I watched between the Nationals and the Tigers. I was sweating it out. It goes to extra innings. Nats got a little unlucky with Riley Green's triple on an error with the bases loaded, but either way, the Nats pull it out. Finnegan, the guy who finished the game for them, he was a stud. So Zach Wheeler never got the job done. He just didn't. He just didn't miss a lot of bats against a good matchup in the Red Sox. So that one was a loss, but this one was an easy winner. Steven Kwan and Yandy Diaz, 1+ hit each at minus 122. That was a nice one. And then Cutter Crawford, he walked one kind of early, 3rd, 4th inning, I believe, and then never walked another hitter. I mean, those I don't sit here and say, what a terrible read. It's walks. You just hope for the best. But he got 1 walk, so he missed by 1 on the 4-in-1 night. But there's the overall record as we're slowly inching our way to 0. It's a little slower because of half unit plays, but I'm feeling good about it, on a little bit of a run, so let's keep it rolling. But before we get into all those best bets, we got a lot of research info to give you, and that starts with the good hitter matchups. All right, sorry, we only got 9 good hitter matchups for you today, but hopefully we can still get some winners. It seems like when the Mets have a good matchup, like all their hitters are on here. We have 4 Mets on here. So Pete Alonso, Francisco Lindor, Jeff McNeil, Starling Marte. They all hit the lefty Braxton Garrett very well. As you can see, Alonso, the polar bear, has 2 bombs off of him. And then as does Jeff McNeil has no home runs off him, sorry. Francisco Lindor has 3 home runs. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. And then Marte, 4 for 7. So they've hit him well. And then other than that, Shohei Ohtani, 4 for 10 with 2 bombs off of John Gray. And Chris Taylor over there on the Dodgers, who isn't a great everyday player, but he does have good numbers versus John Gray as well. So those are the good hitter matchups for June 12th. And now let's talk some arms. All right, like I mentioned earlier, we got four of these good pitcher strikeout matchups, and it starts with Pablo Escobar Lopez for the Twinkies going up against the Rockies. We all know the Rockies set second highest K percentage versus righties the last 3 weeks at 25.9%, and Lopez 79 Ks in 71 innings. He does have a little higher K rate on the road, and he's going to be at home here, but he's had some really tough K matchups lately, as you can see right there. Yankees twice, Astros, Rangers, Nationals. I mean, those are tough teams to strike out. The last top 10 K rate team he's faced is my Seattle Mariners, and he had 10 Ks. So, next one, Michael King versus the A's. The A's have the absolute highest K percentage versus righties in the last 3 weeks, over 27%. And King, just about like Pablo Lopez, 83 Ks in 78 innings. He has 5 to 7 Ks in 4 of his last 5 starts. Does that help? I don't know, but he's been consistently in that number. And like you see there, he only has more than 7 Ks twice this season out of his 13 starts. So that's page one. Let's go check out the final two now. Tanner Bibby of the Guardians going up against the Reds. Reds, seventh highest K percentage at almost 25%, and Bibby 76 and 70 innings. His last 5 starts been decently consistent: 7 Royals, 7 Nats, 6 Angels, 8 Twins, and 4 against the Rangers. 7 against the Royals and 7 against the Nats is definitely pretty impressive. And then the final one. This guy has the highest K rate of all of these guys. Sonny Gray versus the Pirates. Pirates have the 6th highest K percentage versus righties in the last 3 weeks at 25.2%. Sonny Gray, 82 Ks in only 61.2 innings. But I will say this, his K numbers have been a little inconsistent lately. As you can see here, 5 versus the Rockies, which, by the way, that's a good matchup for him. 10 at Philly. And then we had, which is also interesting because Philly is not an easy team to strike out. And then he had 8 versus the Cubs, 6 versus the Orioles. He now has 6 plus Ks in 9 of his last 10 starts. His one miss was that last start versus Colorado. I have no idea how that happens, but that's baseball. So those are the 4 best pitcher strikeout matchups. Hopefully you guys can go crush it and get some winners with these. And now let's take a look at the pitcher report. All right, these are the first 8 matchups of the pitcher report. As you can see on the bottom, those are all the averages, something to compare to if you are new to the channel, but we like to have this be maybe one of the first things you check every day so you know all the matchups across the league that day. We got some interesting matchups here, like Henry Rowan-Gardner versus Maury Povich, 2 youngsters in Baltimore. That's a stay away game for me, kind of tough to predict with small sample sizes and not much to go off of there. But Javier Assad, how about a 2.74 ERA? But he is due for some regression, negative regression for those Cubbies with a 4.24 expected ERA. The highest K rate on this page is Nick Pivetta down there with the Red Sox at 31.1%. A good matchup in Cincy, the Battle of Ohio with Nick Lodolo versus Tanner Bibby. Both have been pitching pretty well and can miss some bats, so that should be a fun one to watch to see what happens there. And then Pablo Lopez has just been struggling, just been giving up a ton of hits, and just has not been himself this year so far. So other than that, nobody has a ridiculously high walk rate. Maybe Hogan Harris for the A's, but only 20.1 innings pitched and things like that. So that's page 1. Take a screenshot, and then let's go check out page 2. These are the final 7 matchups we have here, and down there on the bottom, Walker Buehler. He's trying to make his way back. He hasn't been as good. He hasn't been in form, but after that big injury, you don't expect it. Giving up the most hits per 9 on this page, except for Jonathan Cannon, the youngster for the White Sox, giving up 12.4 hits in only 16.2 innings, though. Then other than that, guys, we got some decent matchups. But Altavia, I think he has pitched 1 inning. He was an ex-Mariner. I can't believe he's still around. But anyways, he might just be an opener for them, so I wouldn't look too much into that. And then, as we talked about, there's some New York Met hitters that have hit Braxton Garrett pretty well. But he's due for some negative regression with almost that 6 ERA, but about a 4 expected ERA. So we got some good matchups. But Sonny Gray is probably the best pitcher on this page, hands down. And he has a 32.8% K rate, great ERA, great expected numbers, great hits per 9, etc., etc. He is a stud even at his age. So those are the final 7 matchups. Hopefully you can go get some winners from these, or they lead you on the right path. But now it's time for the best bets. All right, this segment of the show is brought to you by our sponsor, Better Bet. That's BTR Bet, the best place to find, track, analyze, and share your bets. Click that link below in the description. Use the promo code JABO. You get 30 days free. All right, this first one takes us out to Tampa, Florida, where the Rays are hosting the Chicago Cubbies. Rays on the money line, minus 120. Cubs, plus 100, with a total of 7.5 runs. This is a player prop. It's a K matchup, but not one that we went over. I don't know what this line is doing, but give me Javier Assad over 4.5 Ks. It's minus 130 on DraftKings. I'm going to put a half unit on all these plays because I don't want to mess up the mojo right now. But this one was minus 120. Then it went to minus 130 when we were writing it, so I had to adjust the odds. I'm not sure. I think it's going to be 5.5 by the time first pitch is around. But Assad has 7 or more Ks in 4 of his last 5. I will repeat that: 7 or more Ks in 4 of his last 5, and they have a 4.5 line here. I only need 5. But he has 7, 8, and 7 Ks in his last 3 road starts. In the 5 starts before, where he's been on an absolute tear, he wasn't missing a ton of bats. He never had more than 5 Ks. So he obviously changed up his how he's pitching. He's had some decent matchups, but even in some tough matchups, he's missing some bats. I'm riding the hot hand here. Like I said, 7 or more in 4 of the last 5. He's facing the Tampa Bay Rays, who have the 9th highest K rate versus righties in the last 3 weeks at 24%. And they have some easy K guys on their team. Let's face it, if you watch them play, you have seen it. But 16 of the last 20 right-handed starters have gone over this 4.5 Ks line versus the Tampa Bay Rays. 16 of the last 20. That's quite a bit. That's including guys like Jameson Taillon, Michael Wacha, Albert Suarez, Joey Estes, even Mitch Spence had 4, which was pretty close. I mean, there's some guys that aren't, it's not like they're all high K rate guys either. So we just need 5. The Rays are a team that played pretty well against the AL East, actually. They know those pitchers well, but they haven't faced Javier Assad very much at all, obviously, with the Cubs being in the NL Central. Assad is a guy who throws, he's fully stretched out, throws a lot of pitches, 90 plus in the 3 of the last 4 starts. I think he gets 6 or more Ks, but I just need 5. So give me Assad over 4.5 Ks as my first best bet. All right, we take a pause in the bets just to let you know about the BetMGM promo out right now. First bet offer up to $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if you don't win that first bet. Guys, you can go take a chance. You can go make a huge bet. If you lose, it's okay because you're going to get it back in bonus bets. Now, in order to get this promo, you got to click that link below for BetMGM. It's in the description. Go check it out. It's a limited time offer, but it is a great deal. And you got nothing to lose. Go sign up. And I always recommend using different sports books because it's going to give you different odds. Long term, it's going to really help you out. So if you're in a legal state, go check out BetMGM. Of course, you must be 21 years or older to gamble. If you have a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, back to the bets. All right, before we get to the second best bet, I'm only going to have 2 best bets on the video right now. It's getting late for us. We had 2 videos, but I'm going to drop another bet or 2 in the morning or maybe even tonight, including a hitter parlay, but I will have those hitter parlay ideas still after this one. So this is a parlay with 2 legs. Give you the Mets team total over 3.5 runs and the Orioles team total over 2.5 runs at plus 113 on DraftKings. So the meat and potatoes of this one is the Mets team total over 3.5. It was minus 145. I've seen it minus 155 some books. It got too juicy. That's why I added the Orioles. But let's talk about the Mets over 3.5 right now. It's kind of similar to the Angels over 3.5 yesterday, which they barely went over, but they should have went over easier. The Mets have been crushing lefties lately. Since May 1st, they have the 5th best batting average at 262, 3rd best on base percentage, 7th best WRC plus, top 10 highest walk rate. They have scored the 5th most runs off of lefties since May 1st. And now they face Mr. Braxton Garrett of the Marlins. Garrett's been up and down this season, but he hasn't made that many starts yet. But he faced the Mets earlier on May 18th. He gave up 6 earned runs in 4.1 innings. It doesn't mean they're going to absolutely repeat it, but you saw in the good hitter matchups, there are guys on this team like Alonso, Francisco Lindor. There are guys that can just absolutely rake against Braxton Garrett. They're comfortable with him. So that's probably why you see them scoring a lot of runs against him. But in his last start, Mr. Garrett, he gave up 5 earned runs in only 2.2 innings versus the Tampa Bay Rays. So what I noticed so far in these small little 5 starts that he's made this season, when he faces good offenses, he struggles. Against the Rays, who are a good hitting lefty team, not righty, he gave up 5 earned runs, then 6 earned runs to the Mets, and 5 earned runs to the Phillies. His only 2 good starts against the Padres and the D-backs, not exactly light, or they're not going to set the world on fire with their offense versus lefties. So now, some lefties that have faced the Mets lately, this offense. Patrick Corbin gave up 6 earned runs. I know it's Corbin, but guys, again, I only need 4, and this is only like half the game. Mackenzie Gore, Mets scored 6 earned runs off him. Kyle Harrison, 4 earned runs. Braxton Garrett, we already talked about 6. And they still got 2 earned runs off of Jesus Luzardo and Ranger Suarez, some decent lefties there. So I just need 4. I need the Mets to score 4. Don't let me down. Have I mentioned I only need 4? I've only said it 100 times so far. But that's the first leg. Now, the second leg is a team that hates me. Absolutely hates me. Their team total is 4.5. I just need 3, though. That's all I'm asking for. If they let me down here, guys, it's on. You just know they just hate me. So This is an offense that is just unbelievable. They've been absolutely dynamite, and they're facing Henry Rowan Gardner. I don't know, guys. Schwellenbach, something like that. Either way, he's a young pitcher. He's only had 2 starts in the major leagues, 3 and 6 earned runs in those starts versus the Red Sox and the Nationals. I don't need to tell you that much, but the Orioles, like I said, they can hit the ball pretty well. They're kind of decent at that. Top 5 WRC plus OPS. It goes on and on and on. I think they're going to hit a bomb or two in this one. They also are the team that scores the most runs in the MLB. They score 5.2 runs per game. I only need 3. That's it. So give me 3 for the Orioles, give me 4 for the Mets, and let's get a plus money winner as my second best bet. And now let's talk some hitter parlay ideas. So I got 4 of them for you right now. Obviously, there's some superstars you can just throw out here every single day. Bobby Witt, Aaron Judge, all these guys. You can do that. I got some decent players here, but I got 4 just to kind of make you think a little deeper. The first one, JD Martinez of the New York Mets. He's been good. The old man has been good. 1+ hit in 22 of his last 26 games. He's been a big reason why the Mets offense has been better since the beginning of the season. And the time to tail him is against lefties. He is hitting 341 off lefties this year, and Garrett's given up 28 hits in 26.1 innings. Next one, Gunnar Henderson. I know, kind of a dub, but maybe just insert all Orioles hitters here, hopefully, at least. But he has 1+ hit in 12 of his last 13 games. Just got the day off yesterday. He's 8 for his last 21. That's not too bad. And then Schwellenbach has given up 12 hits in only 9.2 innings. Nothing special. I think Gunnar stays hot here. Third one, Fernando Tatis, another kind of a duh. I mean, he's just automatic. I just want to make sure that I reiterate, he's hitting 433 in the last 7 days. He's kind of just stupid good at the moment. Facing Hogan Harris, the A's bullpen, doesn't scare me. Hogan Harris is a righty. Tatis is hitting 307 off righties this year. So that's my third one. Fourth one, a guy who hasn't played a lot this year, but give me Royce Lewis of the Twins. Only 5 ABs versus lefties this year. So, I don't know. I'm not going to really go off of that, but he is like 2 for 5. No, 3 for 5. He is. He's hitting a lot, like over 500. Pretty impressive. But anyways, he had 314 off of lefties last season. Just to give you guys some more numbers, he has 1+ hit in 6 of his last 7 games, which are pretty much his whole season. He played opening day, got hurt, and then he's played 7 games since, and he's got 1+ hit in 6 of those. Facing lefty Austin Gomber, who has given up 59 hits in 66.2 innings. Decent matchup here. I like Royce Lewis to stay hot. Other than that, like I said, you can add superstars left and right. There's a lot more guys you could add, but I don't have time to give you 15 to 20 of these. But anyways, these went 4-1 yesterday. They've just been on an absolute roll. Hopefully, you guys are getting a lot of winners off these and everything else we give to you. So that's what I got. Thanks for listening to me ramble yet again about baseball. Now let's check out the recap. All right, we got Javier Assad over 4.5 Ks at -130. If you get 5.5 at plus money, I do like that also. Mets team total over 3.5, along with Orioles team total over 2.5 at +113 on DraftKings for a half unit. I will definitely have added plays, don't you worry. So be sure to check the pinned comments, X, and Discord to get all the plays because we got some day games. So the games might start a little earlier than you think. But thank you guys for listening and for all the support. Again, go check out that NBA Best Bets video for Game 3 of the NBA Finals. But hope everyone out there has a great Wednesday, and we'll talk to you soon.